So where do you want to sit?
I'm good here.
We were having a discussion whether we should sit maybe really close to each other on one sofa and make it really awkward for everyone, but I think this is okay. So hello, I'm Helery. I'm an investor at Practica Capital. Practica is a generalist Baltic 80 million fund, and my role is to find the founders in Estonia. But we're not here today to talk about Practica, but we're here to talk about one of our portfolio companies, which is HeavyFinance and Laimonas. And my goal for today, I guess, is for everybody to understand what is the opportunity behind those buzzwords of carbon credits, regenerative agriculture, and crowdfunding as well. And I'm hoping that we leave here after 28 minutes knowing exactly what you do as well. So without further ado, over to you. What's your story? What brought you here?
Helery, first of all, thank you for having me here. And I suggest not, to focus on HeavyFinance as an organization more, but touch point on sustainability, demystify it a little bit, because I don't think it's that hard to understand it if you really want to understand it. But just a little bit a short background on me. So I come from finance industry, entrepreneur for 17 years already. So HeavyFinance is a company of 3 years and a half. So we are operational in 5 markets now. Latvia including, so Latvia, Lithuania, Portugal, Bulgaria, and Poland. That's where we're biggest now. And if we are many things as an organization, but to simplify it, we pay farmers who are friendly to environment. So that's our main job, and that's what we do in essence.
Can you get a little bit deeper on this? How exactly, where do you find the money to pay the farmers? How does it work exactly?
So as you said, we attack this climate problem from finance industry perspective, and we try to source different elements of available capital to the farmers, especially small and medium ones, who are either willing to switch to what's called regenerative farming or already practicing this. So we either do that through debt instruments. We are launching an Article 9 fund, as was a previous panelist discussed, together with European Investment Fund, for example. Or we source the funding from what's called voluntary carbon credits industry, where companies like Danone, for example, or Microsoft are offsetting their carbon footprint through the good jobs done somewhere around the globe. For example, Microsoft is buying good jobs done in Southeast Asia when someone plants a mangrove forest. So that's what voluntary carbon market is, and 1 ton of CO2 is 1 credit.
So right now you have this working company, you're doing pretty well. How does one wake up one day and decide, like, I want to help farmers be green?
Look, I think that, we somehow try to think that climate people will solve climate problems. I think that's impossible. We are facing a problem of the level of the existential problem of humanity, and we cannot expect that some other people will do the job for you. So each and every personal individual is important. No matter what you did previously in your life, you can find your angle to fight it. And I'm happy that our organization found a way, as we were dealing with the farmers on large scale. We currently work with the 2,000 clients, small farmers as our clients. We talked with 40,000 clients in these 3 years, meaning we are able to connect with them and talk with them on the climate issues as well. So it came somehow naturally as the organization grew, and I'm happy with it here.
Let me poke a little bit more on this topic. I know you have a financial background, right? But not that I know of. You don't have any connection to farmers and fields. So knowing that, for example, trees can sequester much more CO2 than fields, how did you end up specifically with this farmers and fields and exactly this topic?
So once again, we're dealing with farmers. Farmers grow grain, and what we learned is that soil is one of the largest pools available to hide organic carbon from the oxygen. So to simplify the problem which we're solving, as I said, the sustainability issue, especially on the environment side, The problem which we're facing is that during the years we mined from the earth organic carbon in terms of fossil fuels, and this organic carbon reacts to the oxygen, and that's your CO2. So now what we're solving is actually hiding organic carbon from oxygen again. So we need to put it somewhere, and soil happens to be one of the best ways to permanently hide organic carbon in natural procedure, photosynthesis. So it's just what we learned, and we need many ways. Like if someone doing forests, that's cool. If someone doing, hiding carbon in ocean, that's cool. If someone is hiding organic carbon in bricks, that's cool. We're doing that with soil.
It is very cool. What has the feedback from your customers been? Are they willing and up for those changes, or do you have to push them?
That came very, very unexpected for me personally. I really met quite a lot of farmers myself, and I thought that, we're going to talk money here. But farmers are the ones, they're on the front lines of climate change, and they really admit and they start speaking that, I can't grow anymore stable business because I feel climate change. I feel, 1 year I have extreme floods, another year I have extreme sun conditions, and they feel it. So they really understand that we need to do something, and there are ways to protect against.
Mm-hmm. And I know you have a different customer group as well. It's not just the farmers, it's also the retail investors, which I am one of them, for example, and maybe someone in the audience as well. What's the value proposition for them?
So as we operate as a marketplace, as I say, we have created all this to institutional investors to fight climate change. But any person who is willing to earn and who is willing to invest in such activities are able to do so through our platform. And one of the products which we created, instead of getting the interest rate from the farmers, you can actually get paid by these carbon credits, which you can either sell on the market conditions, or you can even offset your own personal carbon footprint.
Okay, very cool. Since the title of this talk refers to growth a little bit as well, maybe I'll ask a bit about this. How has the evolution of your business been like? Are you still building the exact same company today than when you started, or how has it evolved and changed along the way?
That's a tricky question. As a founder myself, I have a way larger vision than we are today, right? Even now we are doing fine. We're growing quite fast, but the vision is way higher. But as I say, you need to build step by step. When you finish some step and it's on a strong background, only then you can introduce another topics. So from day one, I expected this company to be super large, super important. It just might need 15 years to do so, or 20 years. And as a person, I'm ready to go into that journey. And it's very normal that the organization will change, will add products, will be different as it was on a day one. So the change in our organization is very welcomed. And if we have another good ideas how to support agriculture, we are happy to incorporate it. The important factor is that, we people from cities, we don't know much about farming, how large as an industry it is, how much capital it needs, how much cash intensive business it is, and how important it is for all of us as it gives us food. So we sometimes forget about it, and I'm happy that our organization is working in this not sexy industry.
You don't always think about how the food gets into the supermarket, right? So can you remind me, when was day one and how big are you today?
So our day one was late 2020. We are currently around 50 people. We are all types of individuals in the organization, starting from finance specialists, plus 6 agronomists, plus soil experts, plus data scientists. So we are many things, and that's what makes us beautiful from that perspective. by the end of next year, we might reach a group of 70, 80 people. That's how much we need to sustain our growth, actually. So pretty tricky situation to grow fast, great products, and onboard so many people. We try to control it, but yeah, we are in a quick growth phase.
What motivates people to join HeavyFinance? What do you
think? Everyone likes, growing and fast, let's say, fast-growing environment. But I see more and more that we are being joined by people passionate about climate, as they understand our vision. They see that, we don't have this greenwashing element, as everything we do is done by soil samples. So every ton of carbon which we claim our clients removed from the atmosphere, we can actually prove it by data. And this element that you can measure your impact on climate attracts the talents which care for environment. So this becomes more and more important in our organization and the culture. Just to give you one short example. So 2 years ago, we gave bonuses to our salespeople depending on the revenue they create for their organization. Now we provide bonuses in terms of how much CO2 your client removes from atmosphere.
Okay, so they have the motivation to go after bigger customers as well in this sense, yeah?
We don't give a shit, as long as it is, the more the better.
Okay, nice. What keeps you up at night? What are the main issues that you're struggling with today?
This fast growth gives me some pain. How to control the people, how to keep the organizational structure right at that moment. So that's one. And the second problem which we are facing is the pace of climate problems and the players in the market. So the more the players, the more the infrastructure have to be robust. I'm speaking with the organizations like Vera in the United States, which we, based on the voluntary carbon credits. So the more the players, the less predictable is when the things are going to happen. So that impacts your cash flow, that impacts your investments, and things which I do not control makes me worry. So
yeah. So jumping away from HeavyFinance for a second, if I look around and I look at the topics that we're talking about here, and then I look outside at the trash and everything that's going on in the world, it makes me quite negative. Do you have faith and do you have hope that those are problems that we can solve and that the essentially world can still be saved?
Look, there's no other way. If we don't solve it, then why do kids then, right? There is no other way. And I do get the point that the majority of people don't care about it, or they think that some blue-collar guys from Brussels will solve it, and they will. There is a lot of pressure incoming. But one example that gives me faith is we come from Baltics, and when Lithuania got its independence, only 10% of people fought for it. All the 90% were either negative on the independence issue or passive. So you need a small portion of individuals to do the right thing. And I'm super happy we're here today and we discuss these issues. I'm missing something. I think we need to be more direct, more exact, put more timelines, more, simplify the communication. Don't allow people to do bullshit on the stage. Don't allow organizations, because I still feel, some past on my ears after the CEO stage here we had 3 hours ago, and we need to, ask normal questions. So you as an organization, what did you do? How much money you spent on removing the issue which you created? Capitalism created a problem of global warming. We need to ask capitalists how much you paid to, we had a good party, now someone needs to clean it. To clean it, we need to pay it. So for each and every organic carbon hidden somewhere or plastic removed from the ocean, someone has to pay. So how much did you pay? That should be the casual question to a CEO of an organization.
Do you have any good examples of you asking this question from someone?
I do get good questions, but as of now, Microsoft is the best example, right? These guys are not they are not polluting at all, but they're paying a lot. So that's the organization which shows the example, and somehow they're not today. They should be invited to talk on this stage.
All right. You mentioned Baltics for a second. You are building your company from the Baltics as well. I'm guessing being from the small region has its own set of challenges and maybe even positive sides. Could you touch on this a little bit? Or do you think it would be the same to build this company out of Spain or the States or China?
Definitely Europe is easier. First of all, there is a significant package of regulation incoming from European commissioners, and we as a businesses really have to prepare it. I have close contact to the European commissioner, and what he said is that businesses either tackles it now or they can forget profits for many years. And there's going to be riots, there's going to be strikes, because that's the regulation incoming. So the problem is incoming, but on the other side, a huge pile of capital is incoming to support these initiatives. So as a fund, that each time you invest in someone, you get a questionnaire, how much it goes to the ESG topics, especially the environment topic, from European Investment Fund, from EBRD, from European Central Bank. This pressure will make an impact, at least on Europe. So it's easy to operate in Europe from that perspective, that you get really a lot of support.
And the Baltics, does it have any special sides to it?
As a Baltic entrepreneurs, we are blessed by one thing, is a small market. So we are as Vikings, we start business and we go on an attack. So because we cannot stay in Lithuania, for example, we operate in Poland, and I talk with Polish entrepreneurs. Each time they start business, they focus on Poland, and by the moment they want to do business abroad, they're already tired. So that's different dynamics, and that's why our tech companies are so successful.
Good answer. So you started in 2020, right? How has the business environment grown and changed since then? We've had some pretty shocking events in the last few years. Has it changed your way a little bit as well?
Oh, absolutely. That impacted us quite a lot. First, we started during the COVID, so that's how we got into the DNR of remote work. Our talents are spread all around Europe. Then the first year we operated just the moment we started. We built the organization. The war came, meaning that capital was pretty much not available for quite some time. So that impacted us quite a lot. Then we operate with the farmers. The war impacts them by a lot, as fertilizers prices increased, at least double, it's sometimes even quadruple. Grain production is the trade of grain is very impacted by supply from Russia and Ukraine, which is number 2 and number 4 grain producers. So, but as an entrepreneur, there's nothing else you can expect. If you step into the game, then you should be ready for challenges. Doing business is challenging, and it's either your comfort zone or it's not. Of course, I would like to do business in paradise, but that's not happening.
Do you think it has made you stronger starting a business at this type of time?
Absolutely.
All right. We were briefly talking about these powerful guys in Brussels who are going to solve everything, right? So if you had a magic wand, then you could solve a couple of policy problems. Any specific ones that you would like to change or add?
I'm missing leaders, actually, right? As we're speaking, we are in this existential crisis, and there are so simple things which we could do, but we don't do. And that one I don't understand. If you have plastic problem, then we forbid using plastic bags in the shops on all European level. How is that best thing, right? Or if we say that fossil fuels are wrong, then we just invest a lot in green energy. But for that, of course, I'm not, out of space here. I understand how much pressure the oil and gas industry puts on these issues. But we really lack leaders who can mobilize people, explain them, tell them, guys, the roof is on fire. Stop, picking berries and planting tomatoes. You go and do the right thing. Either, you stop the fire or you don't have a house anymore. That's what I'm missing. Where are the leaders in this topic?
If you had to choose,
Greta, right?
Greta, yeah.
Greta?
No, I agree. I think it's a lot about not only doing things and changing policies, but about inspiration as well. And I guess she has inspired a lot of people to be better somehow, right? Who would you say can make more difference, politicians or entrepreneurs?
Show people.
Show people? Yeah.
I think if we want to change the mindset, we need to go deep into the guys who watch TV, and we need all the influencers. We need all the basketball players and the football players to start speak and explain people that we are in trouble.
All right, let's before we run out of time, let me ask a couple of questions about the growth of your company. Still, in your experience, do you think there's a difference between growing a company and growing a company sustainably?
Sustainable is a very strange word, right? It can have many meanings. For me, sustainable growth means that you build on a strong background. That you first make sure that that what you're building has a strong layer and the floor will not break. So at least in our organization, we try to make sure that we're building on a strong background. And for example, being a 3 years organization and passing through the very diligent European Investment Fund, the diligence process already gives you comfort, So we're super happy about it, and it is possible to do so, and it gives you comfort that after 10 years your organization will not break.
Are there any specific lessons that you've learned on the way as well regarding this?
Each day I learn lessons, and I'm happy to learn them. So nothing specific. Each day you get either smarter or you go out of business.
And I wasn't there in Practica Capital when they invested into HeavyFinance, but can you talk a little bit about how the fundraising road has been for you?
Fundraising. At the beginning, the first round was super hard, as agriculture, finance, boring. But then we started building, then we started showing that we are the ones who execute. We don't talk too much, but we execute. It becomes way easier. And we had Practica investment last year. Large thanks for the team, to support us. But now it's becoming easier and easier, and maybe it's because of the organization. But I believe the element that there are people who understand that climate is a problem, that fintech is important, and agriculture provides us food, gives a spectrum of what you call verticals, where we are really a very investable company. So this unlocks us a lot of capital.
There is a lot of, and you mentioned this as well, right? There's a lot of new money coming into the markets from the sustainability and green tech side, but you went with a generalist fund. Was that ever a point of consideration for you, that maybe you should choose a sustainability fund, somebody who has more connections in this area? Not really.
From what perspective, HeavyFinance is a very generalist, company. We do finance, we do agriculture, and we do climate. So it is very diverse spectrum, and each of the element in our case is very important. But the more we deal with the climate, the more we understand how much pressure for the funds come to invest in environmentally focused companies, and organizations like EIF puts a lot of pressure for it. So when you're in the early stages and you attract capital from DCs, basically choose a partner. and not the organization, because there's always important who is guy leading your case. So we're super happy we have Arvidas working with us. So this stage, one of the best investors ever possible is Practica for us.
Very, very good to hear. Wrap this up a little bit. What would be the 2 pieces of advice you would give to someone trying to build a green tech company out of the Baltics?
Build it. The other message which I'm trying to somehow give to the people and here in the audience, if you want to make money, the best way to do money in next decade is going to be climate, or you're going to pay for it. There's either one or the second. So I suggest you choose making money. At the same time, you will be solving the large problem. And I say so not because the problem is big, but because I know from the finance perspective how much money is incoming. And it will be used to force people to do things right, to do sustainable, and to be friendly for environment. So if you, and you are leaders in your organizations, if you can drive your organization towards that direction, it will pay well for your efforts, for your organization. If you don't do so, you will pay well for the ones who do so.
So I'm guessing this message isn't only for startuppers and young founders, but also to people working in corporations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to add that I didn't ask and you wanted to say to everyone?
I think I said it all. I truly believe that the problem is big, and I don't want to be here warmongering and be the one saying that the roof is on fire and so on, but it is. We somehow tend not to speak about the elephant in the room. We place our leaders here is sitting and they give us pasta right on the ears, and it's not right. We have to admit that the roof is on fire. The communication has to be direct, shortened. The action is now, not later, and the decisions we do is not nice, but they are needed. So just an example, and I love it. Or Bangkok in Thailand, they just told the people that by 2030 you cannot enter this city with a fossil fuel car. Everyone knows it's simple. You have time to prepare. Done. And here we need to do, maybe we improve this one. We need to change culture. No, that's it. Time to act.
Time to act. Very good note to end by. Thank you, Laimonas. Thank you.
Thank you so much.